Today we have with us BlackBerry's flagship model, the Z10. Now a few years back, if you thought of BlackBerry, the only thing that would come to your mind were these QWERTY phones or these very serious devices. But over the past few years, BlackBerry has tried to move away from their all work and no play image, and thanks to that, they have introduced a lot of touchscreen devices as well, and partly thanks to the competition. But the first set of touchscreen devices were an absolute disaster. Now BlackBerry has worked hard to move away from that storm, and now we have the Z10, which is a completely evolved sample of their touchscreen phones. Now the company has become so confident about their touch interface that the only mode of input on this new device is either touch or swipe gestures. For starters, the handset is quite sturdy and sports an elegant design. It doesn't look anything like its predecessors. The Z10 runs the latest version of the BlackBerry OS, version 10, and the user interface is significantly different from the previous versions. There are no buttons on the face of the device, and all the inputs are based on certain gestures. For example, you have to swipe up from the bottom of the screen to minimize an app or go to the home screen. Similarly, you can swipe up and flick right to go to the message center or see the notifications. It has a 1.5 GHz dual-core CPU, 2 GB of RAM, and Adreno 225 GPU for gaming. There's 16 GB of built-in storage and a microSD card slot to expand it further. There's also a built-in Dropbox integration. A micro HDMI port also makes its way onto the device. So if you want to connect this to the TV and directly watch videos on it, you can do that with a special cable. BlackBerry phones are still essentially business devices, and typing is a very key element. Hence, the keyboard in this device is well thought out, and like most of the things here, it also supports swipe inputs. To give you an example, if you want to use backspace, you don't have to go looking for the backspace key. You can just swipe to the left and it works as backspace. Now that's quite smart and very effective. The Z10 has a 4.2-inch HD screen with a resolution of 1280 by 768. Now the screen used here is excellent. The picture quality, the contrast, the colors are all great, and so is the touch sensitivity. On the multimedia front, the Z10 has an 8-megapixel autofocus camera with flash. Now the picture quality of the camera is quite disappointing. Unless you're outdoors in well-lit environments, then the photos do come out well. But the moment the light factor drops, there is just too much of noise in the photos, and most of the photos are unacceptable. Another thing that goes in favor of the Z10 is the sound quality, especially music. So if you have a good set of earphones, the sound output on this device is excellent. Now something that you do not expect from a business phone, but it's always a good addition. This device is also capable of recording full HD videos, the quality of which again depends on the ambient lighting. As far as the navigational features of this device go, there's only disappointment in store, especially because the bundled maps are almost useless in India. But these are early days for the device, and hopefully things should get better. But as they stand right now, I would say Apple Maps have got serious competition here. While the maps were disappointing, the battery backup on this device is quite impressive. It easily lasts for around a day and a half to two depending on your usage, which is quite good for a smartphone. Other than the hardware and the user interface, one major plus for this device is the deviation from a standard policy by BlackBerry. For this phone, you don't have to go for those special BlackBerry plans, and if you want to access the net, you can do it over a standard GPRS or a 3G plan, or for that matter even Wi-Fi. Works perfectly fine without a headache. As far as the apps ecosystem goes, it's nowhere as evolved as an Android or iOS. But BlackBerry is taking serious efforts to port a lot of popular apps and games onto this platform. Case in point, Angry Birds and WhatsApp are now available on the BB10 platform. As far as BBM goes, there are no major enhancements, but the interface is a lot cleaner, and more importantly, it benefits from a newer, better keyboard thanks to BB10 OS. Last but not the least, the price. The BlackBerry Z10 is available for 42,000 rupees in India with a 1-year warranty. At that price point, the Z10 just doesn't compete with its predecessors, but also with flagship Apple and Android devices, and that is where it falls short, especially on the multimedia front. But if you're a BlackBerry fanboy or looking to buy a BlackBerry device, the Z10 is by far the best available in the market currently. However, if you're looking for a smartphone around the 40,000 range, there are far too many better options out there. We rate the BlackBerry Z10 at 3.5 out of 5.